It was the last days of September, and the weather had turned cold suddenly. Amir, who had traveled out of town for work, decided to take an old forest road to avoid the heavy traffic on his way back. The navigation system had suggested this route. It was both shorter and renowned for its scenery. However, he was unaware of the road's history, filled with old legends and stories of disappearances. Having completed most of his journey, the sky darkened and an unexpected rain began. Along with the intensity of the rain, a strange noise started emanating from the engine of Emir's car. Unfortunately, in the most desolate place, the engine stopped, and the car came to a halt. There was no signal on his phone. Hoping to find help, he stepped out of the car into the rain. He began walking on a path through the forest. Apart from the rain, the wind, and the noises of wild animals, everywhere was silent. After walking for a while, he saw a dilapidated cabin. Its door was half open, and it was dark inside, looking like a good option for temporary shelter. When he entered the cabin, the smell of old, damp wood filled his nostrils. Apart from a table and two chairs covered in years of dust and spider webs, there was nothing else inside. In a corner, he found an old bed, probably belonging to a hunter, and decided to wait for the morning. Wrapped in a worn blanket on it, after midnight, he was awakened by faint footsteps coming from outside. In the silence, the sounds gradually increased. Amir hid under the blanket in fear. He could feel something entering the cabin and wandering around the room. Outside of his breathing and heartbeat, everything was silent. After a while, the sounds disappeared, and when Amir, gathering courage, looked outside hours later, he saw that nothing had changed. When morning came, he wanted to leave the forest quickly and reach civilization as soon as possible. When he returned to his car, he managed to start it and quickly drove away from there. However, from that day on, whenever he thought about what he had experienced, he was sure he was not alone in that cabin that night, and he never passed through that forest road again. The line between reality and legend had become much more blurred for him.